10 verbal triggers that create instant sexual tension with women. Sexual tension isn't created by charm. It's triggered by how your words make her feel uncertain, observed, and exposed. That's the real power. Most men never tap into what high value. Men understand is this. Women respond not to what you say, but to the psychological frame you deliver it from. You're not trying to impress her. You're pressing on her subconscious vulnerabilities. These 10 verbal triggers aren't small talk. They're precision tools, and once you use them, the game changes forever. 1. You didn't expect me to notice that, did you? This line flips the frame. It positions you as the observer and her as the one under analysis. Evolutionary behavior shows that when a woman feels seen beyond the surface, it sparks a form of internal tension. Part validation, part exposure. Use it when she slips up or reveals a tell. It reminds her she's not in control of the dynamic, you are. And that's where power lives, in perception. When she feels observed, she becomes more reactive, more aware of how she's being perceived. She begins to see you as the one who uncovers rather than chases. That alone can shift the entire energy of an interaction to interesting choice of words. Women process communication on emotional levels. When you pause and call out how she said something, not what she said, it disrupts her automatic patterns. Suddenly, she's second-guessing her phrasing. That doubt creates micro-vulnerability. This isn't about criticism, it's psychological dominance through subtle interruption. You're not attacking, you're evaluating. You're not judging her, you're showing her that her words echo louder than she thought. That realization makes her self-conscious in a good way. It makes her lean in to monitor how you're receiving her energy and words, which builds a deeper emotional resonance. 3. You don't usually say that to just anyone, do you? This line inserts a question mark into her intent. Evolutionary psychology shows women test for selectivity. Is this man easily impressed, or is he hard to win over? This trigger reverses that frame. You imply she's overexposed herself, and now she's the one who needs to prove she's not predictable. Tension rises. When certainty drops, and this specific trigger causes her to evaluate her behavior through your lens. That self-check brings intimacy. She's wondering if she was too revealing, if you're judging her, if she's past some hidden threshold. And now you control the narrative. For I like how you said that, like you meant it. This sounds like a compliment, but it's a trap. Why? Because it forces her to emotionally invest in what she just said. You're implying intent, and once she feels like her words have weight, she starts performing to maintain that perception. That performance builds psychological friction. She becomes more self-aware, more reactive. The moment she feels her words are under a spotlight, she naturally starts mirroring the emotional tone you're setting, and when she starts mirroring, she's entering your emotional rhythm, which tightens the tension in ways she can feel but not explain. 5. You ever wonder why you're drawn to certain people? This triggers introspection. And that's powerful, because introspection and conversation with a dominant man builds a deep-rooted desire for emotional mirroring. She starts applying that question to you the moment you ask her to reflect. She begins connecting dots, and you become the center of that puzzle. When a woman begins to philosophize about human behavior, especially attraction within a live emotional context, it accelerates intimacy. She's no longer just talking, she's revealing how she interprets energy and human chemistry, and suddenly she's doing it with you, not around you. 6. That reaction says a lot more than you think. Most men chase clarity, high-value men reward ambiguity. This line plays on emotional displacement. It tells her you reacted emotionally, but I'm not going to explain it for you. That unknown creates a mental itch, because now she needs to decode how she came across. That loop builds tension without a single compliment. You're creating the space for her to project, and what she projects becomes her own emotional investment in the conversation. This is how you become unforgettable, not by trying to impress, but by making her reflect on herself in your presence. 7. You're not as in control as you think, are you? Here, you're targeting the illusion of female control. Most women pride themselves on emotional intuition and social command. This line breaks that frame. it introduces loss aversion. She feels her perceived power slipping and wants to regain it, but to do that, she has to re-engage on your terms, and when that happens, you're no longer reactive. You've become the gravity in the interaction. She senses that her usual patterns don't land with you the same way, and it's unsettling in a way that draws her in. Even deeper 8, that wasn't the answer I expected. Why does this work? Because it activates reward-seeking patterns. When you act like her answer was insufficient or too revealing, it pushes her to chase your approval, not through validation, seeking, but through deeper engagement. You're not rejecting her. You're signaling that your standards are higher than average. And when your standards are high, you make her want to recalibrate her behavior to meet them. That recalibration is the source of tension. She starts measuring her words, her tone, even her silence against what she thinks will spark your intrigue again. 9. You're actually kind of dangerous when you talk like that. This line creates arousal through uncertainty. It hints at chaos. Risk and thrill all tied to her own behavior. You're not stating attraction directly. You're implying volatility. Women crave polarity, stability in the man, danger in the interaction. Use this when she tries to be edgy. Let her feel that her power has consequences. Let her feel that her boldness awakens something slightly dangerous in you. Not in a threatening way, but in a magnetic way. And that magnetism is rooted in her own behavior, which makes her own desire feel mysterious and heightened. 10. You notice how this energy shifts when you're around. This is your nuke. It doesn't describe you, it describes the field around you. How the environment bends when she enters. It makes her feel like she has unconscious influence, and now she's wondering if you noticed what she didn't. That tension isn't casual. It's chemical, and only grounded men know how to use it when a woman feels like her mere presence changes the mood, the moment, the atmosphere, the tone of conversation. She starts to wonder what kind of emotional impact she truly has, and when that awareness takes hold, it creates a charged silence, a lingering pull that stays long after the words stop. These verbal triggers don't just provoke a response, they unlock a deeper dance, one where words are only the surface, and psychology, emotion, and timing create the real attraction. Most men chase approval grounded. Men trigger introspection, and once you master these frames, you're no longer playing the same game. You are writing the rules silently, confidently, and on your own terms. These verbal triggers don't just provoke a response, they unlock a deeper dance, one where words are only the surface, and psychology, emotion, and timing create the real attraction. Most men chase approval, but grounded men trigger introspection. And once you master these frames, you're no longer playing the same game. You are writing the rules silently, confidently, and on your own terms. Think about it. It was never about charm or being funny or even good looking. The real game lives in tension, in control, in how deeply she feels seen and how subtly she feels off balance. Not in a way that makes her pull away, but in a way that makes her lean in, because her subconscious is hungry for emotional polarity. That edge between comfort and exposure is where desire blooms. And this is the part most men overlook. They try to win her attention when what truly holds her attention is emotional contrast. Women don't want to lead the dance, even when they pretend to. They want to feel the gravity of a man who doesn't flinch, who knows her reactions better than she does, who makes her question herself in a way that excites her, because now her emotions are moving and she doesn't know why, and it's your voice that triggered it. Each of these phrases is not just a line, they're psychological doorways. Use them not to manipulate, but to invite her into a higher state of emotional awareness. When a woman feels that her words, her body language, her tone are being read, not judged, but witnessed, she starts experiencing herself through your presence. That's power, that's tension, and that's what ignites attraction on a level that no surface compliment ever could. So ask yourself this: when was the last time your words made a woman pause, reflect, blush, or recalibrate? When was the last time you stopped trying to prove your worth and instead became the mirror that revealed hers? That's the shift. That's The hidden layer of masculine presence most never develop. It's not in what you say, it's in what your words unlock. It's not just sexual tension. It's psychological gravity, and once she feels it, once she experiences herself differently around she chase that feeling again and again because it's rare. It's potent, and it can't be faked. Use these phrases when you're calm, not when you're desperate. Use them when you're present, not when you're performing. Speak from grounded stillness, not ego, because when your frame is strong enough to hold her uncertainty without rushing to fix, she feels safe being exposed, and that safety is what lets tension build instead of break. Remember, attraction is not logic. It's not routine. It's not a checklist. It's energy. It's space. It's the unknown wrapped in confidence.